In international football, tactical preparation is absolutely everything. You spend months mapping out your defensive structures, analyzing your opponent's flaws, and building the perfect system for survival. But, well, the rulebook doesn't care about a tactical blueprint when an invisible enemy strikes. Right now, the England national team camp has been plunged into absolute panic just hours before their monumental World Cup quarterfinal against Norway. A mysterious illness has rapidly swept through the dressing room, forcing key superstars to completely miss vital training sessions. So, how did a sudden medical crisis break the Three Lions? And can they field the squad capable of stopping the most dangerous striker on Earth? Let's dive into this explainer and figure out exactly what is going wrong.
See that massive number 2 on the screen? That represents a terrifying reality for England. That is the number of crucial, consecutive training sessions that foundational midfield anchor Declan Rice has missed this week. And it's not just a standard bug. Reports reveal he's battling a rapidly spreading sickness that has actually worsened an existing neural issue affecting his hamstring and lower back. England's medical staff are basically working in overdrive right now, isolating the situation to prevent a mass outbreak.
And the timing of this, it is a catastrophic psychological blow. Just look at the broader bracket. We just saw France march straight into the Final Four after a clinical 2-0 win over Morocco, thanks to Mbappe and Dembélé. The top contenders are advancing, and the tournament bracket is completely unforgiving. England was widely tipped to be the powerhouse that could match France at a potential final, but instead they're staring down the barrel of an architectural disaster right when they need stability the most.
All right, let's officially look at Section 1, the breaking squad crisis.
We are looking at a devastating domino effect tearing through Thomas Tuchel's squad. Obviously, we have Declan Rice isolated, but we also have starting center back Mark Guehi nursing a hamstring strain from that dramatic extra-time win over Mexico. Then you've got Jarell Quansah slapped with a 2-match FIFA suspension for a straight red card. And, you literally cannot make this last one up. Veteran Jordan Henderson is out for the entire tournament requiring wrist surgery. Why? Because he jumped over an advertising board while singing Oasis's Wonderwall with fans. It is just bizarre, terrible luck all at once.
Moving right along to Section 2, the midfield vacuum. To really grasp the disaster brewing here, we need to look at the cold structural reality of Tuchel's tactics, specifically the double pivot. This is essentially a 2-man defensive screen right in front of the backline. Usually, Rice and Elliot Anderson anchor this. Declan Rice isn't just a player in this system, guys. He is the absolute foundational pivot. He acts as a defensive shield, cleaning up transitional errors. Without him, England loses their defensive security, leaving a massive gaping wound right down the spine of the pitch. When you compare their ideal shape to this compromised reality, the danger is glaring. In possession, Tuchel loves this fluid 3-2-5 shape, where John Stones steps up and players like Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka get the freedom to overload the final third. But without Rice's calming, press-resistant engine, that fluid shape risks total collapse. The tactical burden falls onto an inexperienced bench, which might completely force England to abandon their aggressive ball possession strategy and drop into a desperate, low defensive block. And that brings us to Section 3, the Viking counter. Because there could not possibly be a worse opponent to face when your midfield shield is gone. Erling Haaland, 7 goals in just 5 games this tournament. He is dominating with physics-defying physicality. He didn't just beat 5-time world champions Brazil in the last round, he completely buried them with 2 late goals. And fun fact for you, he's so hyped right now that an official remix of a rap track he made as a 16-year-old just dropped to celebrate that brace against Brazil. The man is absolutely brimming with confidence. And he's weaponizing that confidence too. He's openly waging psychological warfare, literally telling the press, I think all of you should put every single pressure on the English lads. He knows England's squad is battered. He knows they haven't won a major trophy in 60 years. He is turning the mental screws before the players even step onto the pitch. But listen, Haaland doesn't do it alone. Norway's tactical system is practically engineered to exploit central vacuums, driven by the creative vision of Martin Odegaard. They play this heavy metal, compact mid-block defense. If England's central midfield cannot compress the space between the lines because Rice is missing, Odegaard will have all the time in the world to deliver rapid, lethal through balls directly into Haaland's path. If that happens, an isolated, panicked English backline will be completely exposed. So, what can be done? Section 4. Desperate tactical solutions. Here is Tuchel's likely emergency protocol. First, with Quansah suspended, Jed Spence is the logical plug-in at right back. Second, if Gahey is out, veteran John Stones or Ezri Konsa will have to step up, with Stones maybe even taking on an unconventional inverted midfield role just to give them some bodies in the center. Third, they are going to have to rely heavily, and I mean heavily, on the sheer pace of Saka and Anthony Gordon to stretch Norway out wide.
But you have to remember, every change has a ripple effect. Just look at the difference between Kwanzaa and Spence. Against Mexico, Kwanzaa pushed forward with these aggressive overlaps that opened up space for Bellingham to score. Spence, on the other hand, offers much more defensive width. That shift fundamentally alters England's architecture. It's going to funnel almost their entire attack heavily onto Bukayo Saka's side, which honestly could make them highly predictable for Norway to defend.
Finally, Section 5, a race against biology. At the end of the day, all the tactical preparation in the world won't save you if this sickness keeps spreading. Instead of focusing on fine-tuning their strategy, England's technical staff are spending these critical final hours managing strict quarantine protocols for race, just praying the virus hasn't hit the rest of the starting 11. They're anxiously waiting on a Friday fitness test for Guehi. The only real silver lining here is that Reece James is back in full training, which helps the defense. But right now, it's no longer just a battle against Norway. It is an absolute race against time and biology.
The ultimate test has arrived under the worst possible circumstances. Will England find a way to overcome the odds, restructure their system, and hold the line? Or will Holland's Norway march effortlessly over a broken squad straight into the semifinals? Let me know your honest predictions in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe as we continue to track this breaking World Cup emergency. See you at kickoff.